What's up, guys? It's Teddy, and we're back with another commentary video. Wow, that's what, 3 in a week? Let's see if we could do a little more. I don't know how tired you guys are of Emu versus Ace gameplay, especially going second, but I'm gonna keep that hand because I have a Charlia and then a Saturn, so I have searches on curve, and let's get into it. Coming down with an Ezo search here. I believe he searches the 8 cost Whitebeard event, so I just have to be worried about taking life and potential Roger setups. So I don't know what exactly I'll need to do, but that's going to be a problem for future me. Let's go Charlia because you always want to Charlia before using your leader ability. But if you do have the uh, My Era event instead, I think you're supposed to leader ability first. Pitching the Charlos because I feel like I will grab another. One thing that I realized is that Shirahoshi is probably a pseudo Charlos, as in she's a pseudo blocker. Um, I'm not too concerned about not having Charlos in this matchup, especially going second. So feeling okay about that. Seeing this come down, and then we're probably going to see like an 8K swing. If it's 8, I don't have a rad beam, unfortunately. Yeah, here comes 8K. I can't rad beam it. Equilibrium is only plus 2K, so I'm just going to take that hit, which is fine. Again, the first hit, if you can't defend it with just one card, I would not bother trying to defend at all. Let's cycle the Saturn first so we dig a little deeper in our next search because we already have 2. I don't think I'll have time to drop a second Saturn, so I'm okay letting go of 1 here. I believe we just pick up a rad beam at this point and then put the equilibrium on top. And I know folks have been talking recently about, how to memorize what's on the bottom of your deck and what's in life. Honestly, it's kind of hard to keep track. Like I just keep tracking clumps. Like okay, there's a Nistro there. I think I have a Nistro in hand. I have no more of the equilibrium events because I have one in hand and one just went to the bottom of the deck. And then I think that's my third Shirahoshi. I know I have one in trash. I think I have one in hand. Glad I drew the Mars because that means, oh no, I don't have the Shirahoshi in hand. Glad I drew the Mars so I can pop the 5k body or 5 cost body. We're going to use the equilibrium there to get out, so I know I only have rad beams left, one in hand, and then the rest I have not seen. Going to 6 Dawn here. I can greet to search. I don't have a War Curie right now. I think I've seen every other Elder, and I can just pitch the... Maybe the Jupiter will end up being 2k counter. I'll play out the Mars at some point and block with it, so I just need the Nustro at some point. I think I'm taking a little bit of time here to cycle because I don't know if I want to keep 2 Mars in hand. It honestly could be pretty good, but I end up just pitching it. Should be all right. I'll, again, only have time to play a couple more Elders before the turn. I'm just going to grab the Charlos for insurance here. I don't think I need to search anymore. Maybe that was a misplay because I don't have a War Curie yet. I maybe should have grabbed the Charlia and then sequenced my leader ability a little better. I think on my 10 cost 5 elders turn, I keep saying 10 elders as a shortcut. I end up missing the War Curie here, so that's why I'm talking about it so much. And I'm telling my opponent that they need to leader ability here and draw the card off of popping the 6k body. Swinging 6 here because leader ability was already used. Again, you want to be able to take 2 actions in one turn that would pressure cards out of the ace's hand. So if they, take life and draw a card off of that, off of the leader ability, that means you can also punish them by popping their board or vice versa. Ezo here, thinking about what the bottom deck, I let my opponent know that actually the sequencing of Ezo is that you draw the card first and then you bottom deck a card. So I don't know if it changed too much. I don't remember. But just to keep in mind. There are a couple of misplays here. I think I forget some attached on somewhere. And there's like a miscounter somewhere in the game from what I remember. But I'll have to point it out when I see it. So on 7 Dawn now, what I'm expecting is probably a 6 drop. Tapping one Don here. We're probably going to get a Searcher. Yeah, it's a Garp Searcher. Now the Otama came down. I I don't know what you're looking for at this point. I mean, grabs a Whitebeard. It's not the 10 cost blocker beard, so I'm assuming they have the blocker beards in hand. I guess you, well, you didn't use your leader ability like once per turn, so I don't think you needed to use the Garp there. You could have played the Otama to bounce back a 2k instead and keep that in hand, but again, I don't know what the ace player is missing here. Swinging 6k though, I could give the block. I could give a Rad Beam. I think a Rad Beam's a bit of a throw. I think instead I'm going to pitch the 2k. My rationale here is okay, there's a 7k body, or yeah, there's a 7k body on board. I just want to set up a Nostro to try to clear that next turn. So I won't bother attacking the ace even though there is no Dawn attached, which may be a misplay. I feel like I'm pretty ahead on board right now, so I'm not super concerned. I'll be able to, let's see, 3 Dawn to play out the Nostro, and then I want at least 1 Dawn up for my Rad Beam, because if the 10 cost comes down next turn off of the I Am Whitebeard event, then I could potentially see like 9-9 and maybe block 1 and then give like the Charlos with another. But I just decided to swing 8 here to get 2 cards out of hand or get them down to 2 life. I think either one I'm okay with. If they take that, leader ability will draw them 1 more card. Oh right. There's no Dawn attached. I'm very dumb. We just have them take the life, so there's no need to capitalize super hard on attacking in like waves here. They end up pitching a red rock for the Shirahoshi, and then I put back an Equilibrium and a Shirahoshi, so there's now 2 Equilibriums and 2 Shirahoshi sitting at the bottom, in like the bottom 6 cards, I believe, because we've only searched once with Saturn. I don't know if pitching the Charles was a great idea here. I don't think I needed to, but I also wasn't going to have the Dawn to use it next turn, especially if they decide to take life. Now I need to start worrying about Roger setups, which is why prioritizing that Jozu is so good. Just if ace is the only small swing that you have to worry about, and then you have to worry about the onslaught of like 12Ks plus a 13, I feel like it's less bad than having to deal with 6, 7, 12, 12, 13. I'm too old to make a 6-7 joke, so I won't. 8 Dawn coming down for I Am Whitebeard. I don't think he plays the 9 cost though. Yeah, just go ahead and play out the blocker beard. I believe that's correct. I kind of wish they took. I feel like as the ace player, you should. And then seeing that 9 cost Whitebeard go away, I feel a lot more comfortable pushing them down for the next I Am Whitebeard event, because man, if ace is like a 10k leader on one of those turns, it's gonna be really hard to get over. And one Dawn is used for the Ezo search, so I don't have to worry about 2 9s coming in. I can safely use the Rad Beam for the ace swing. Although Shirahoshi is also sitting there, I think my opponent asks, is that an activate main, and swings in. And as much as I would like to maybe block with the Mars and save it, I don't want a 9k swing going into life, so I'm just going to have to let it go. 9k swing coming in. I could give 2 cards here. I think I just give the block. Because we're going on to our 10 Dawn turn, I should have at least 4 swings into the Jozu, and that's going to be a lot of cards out of hand. I think this is the turn where my opponent miscounters and I don't catch it until later. But I'm going to end up swinging the 5k Nostro into the 7k Jozu and using the effect because I have 10 cards in trash. I can give minus 2k to a body for the turn. I'll pick the Jozu, and I think he gives me 2 cards here. I should have caught it. I mean, it can happen on Sim, so surely it can happen here. My opponent just thinks here for a bit. I should have maybe called it out. I don't remember if I said 5 to 5. So there's the leader ability, so that should be fine because it's 5 to 5. and I'm getting ready to do something else, and I say, okay, something doesn't feel right. I should have corrected this. That's my bad. But now I go 5K to 5K, and I don't think it happens twice. Yeah, I just get a 1K there. Let's get rid of the Nistro here because I'm just going to use the 10 Elders. 5 Elders. Again, I'm going to mess that up for so long. I think that Mars did not end up drawing into that Warcury, so maybe searching the extra searcher off of the 5 Elders are at your service would have been nice. How many cards deep is this Warcury? I think I do end up searching it off of the Saturn here. 2, 3, 4. I mean, I still actually wouldn't have gotten there. So it was inconsequential, but again, still a bit of a misplay. And then that searcher event goes on the bottom because it is not a counter. And that was my second Saturn search. So I just have to be aware of where my equilibrium events are going. Now I'm 7K Nustro. I probably should have just gone minus 2K again to the Jozu, because if the new gate it gets a block here, I can just commit 2 Dawn and swing like 7 to, that would be 3K now, and just have a bunch of Dawn open. But I think I have to commit more Dawn here, right? Because I didn't use the -2 on the Jozu. And it's not like I'm going to attach 5 Dawn and swing 10K to 10K Newgate. So a bit of a misplay for me. Just minus the body that you're attacking. Don't worry about the 12K body staring at you in the face. 9 to 5. Yeah, let's just clock in. I get it. And then I think I'm asking my opponent, did you leader ability? And now they have to trash a card from hand. And recycle an elders here. So I should still have 3 elders in my deck. Actually, somewhere I haven't looped my deck yet, so I'm not entirely sure. I'll at least be able to trash the Warcury next turn and get a full elders turn. But this board state is pretty good. I think I've said it in previous videos, but if I can focus on clearing the aces board, which is again much easier to do going second, I don't feel too bad at all. The Marco's going to come down. What is 6? Jozu? Oh no, the Rush Yamato. This card on curve is a problem, but it was not on curve, so I'm not super worried about it. And the ace is going to the Shirahoshi here. I'm just going to let it go, use it as a pseudo blocker again. My Nistro is still live. If they want to get rid of the Nistro, which I kind of want to protect. Okay, this is a 7 lead swing. I think I probably just Rad Beam here to have extra bodies to swing at the Yamato next turn, if that makes sense. There's an argument here where you could have used the Mars blocker, and then you would have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 swings. It probably was better to keep the Rad Beam in hand now that I'm watching it back. So we'll go 7 to 5 here. Probably get a block off the Marco, draw 3. But then again, I still do get to pressure because at 3 life, I'm not super worried. So any swing that doesn't end up connecting to the Yamato, or when they let the Yamato get cleared, will go straight to face, and I can get 2 more cards out of hand that way. And it's nice because I don't have to commit any Dawn. So another 9-cost Whitebeard going to trash from leader ability. 7 again. Honestly, I would have let it go at the second swing. I guess it would have been the same amount of counter because I'm swinging 8, but I would have to commit Dawn a little earlier and the swings wouldn't be as big. Like I could potentially swing 10, -2 to the new gate with the new Nostro, but we'll have to see how it plays out. My opponent's giving it some time to think. I don't remember having to swing the Mars at the Yamato though. I can just go ahead and swing 8 with the Mars after they let it go. Please let it go. I could be misremembering this entirely. Nope, there it goes. And I think just to get more cards out of hand because they've already used the leader ability to trash the 9-cost Newgate. I'm going to swing 8, ask for 2 more cards. And I'm still a 5k leader. They end up taking. And now is when I want to start to think, am I really worried about Roger here? I have 3 life still. They only have 2 bodies on board. So even if they are able to swing, 6, 12, 12 and let it all through. What did I do wrong? Oh, I forgot the leader ability. It's locals, so my opponent lets me take it back. Thank you very much. And then we do the 5 elders, getting rid of a Workery to play it all out. Taking a little time to get this set up. And let's think here. Again, I'm not really worried about the Roger here, at least on this turn. So I want to try and pressure life. Grab another 5 elders. That's 2 going to the bottom, right? Because I bot decked 1 with Shirahoshi. So the rest are in like the bottom 6 or so. And I'm kind of bad at eyeballing my deck, but I'm going to be at least 2 searches away from that. We'll poke 6. I think I want at least 1 Dawn up to bluff a Rad Beam. And I think 10 is a reasonable number anyway, because they could block and just give me another card. Block and a 2k, that's really nice. So there's no 5-cost Yamatos in hand. There's no Jozus, which would be dead cards at this point in this matchup. So it's good to know that I got 2 2Ks out of that for a 6-6 and then a 10-10. Eight more coming down for the I Am Whitebeard. Should be another blocker beard. I kind of wonder if keeping one of those 9-cost Whitebeards would have been good to set up for Roger next turn. It still would have been tough, though. I have too many cards in hand now that I think about it. We go 6, 10, 12, 13. They take it anyway. Trashing another blocker Whitebeard. And because they took and buffed up, they have a lot of cards in hand. Again, I'm sorry that I don't have a hand cam for my opponent, but it's ace. You got to assume it's like 10 plus at this point, right? They gave me 4 or 5 cards last turn, drew a bunch, so they're still close to net on that. And I think both of us forget here that the ace or the Whitebeard on play gives the ace 2 attached Dawn or 2 rested Dawn. So maybe a bit of a misplay. I think I do end up taking the hit, which is honestly really greedy because at that point, if Roger comes down, right, I would need to defend one of the 12s, but I grab the Rad Beam, always lucky. And from here, I think I just correct my opponent. I mean, again, I would have taken the hit either way. I maybe should have blocked with a Workery. I kind of wanted to greed for game, just have more bodies on board. I'm not too scared about counter. Because I also haven't seen that many Rad Beams, right? I want to try and make sure I've one in here. I think that's the only one. Yeah. So I should be able to search another Rad Beam because I didn't see them in my other Saturn searches. You could use the search event here to try to just fish for extra counter. That's probably fine. Ideally, you could just use it as pitch fodder for the 5 Elders activate main. But at this point, I have so many 1Ks in hand that it doesn't matter all that much. And a 2K is fine. The 2K is not searchable with the Saturn anyway, so it's nice to pick that up going into the Roger turn. Probably just swing 8s here. I'm trying to think because it's an 8K leader, I am going to need a lot of Dawn. I can't swing with my leader because it's still 5K. We'll go 8. Let's see. I need 4 more Dawn, at least 1 open for a Rad Beam. I should maybe leave more open for a Rad Beam. I think I can only swing twice more. And we're going 8s because those blockers are still up. I don't want to bother with a 10k swing somewhere. I don't even think it'd be even worth going 10k once. I pick up 4 there, thinking about my Rad Beams. I'm pretty confident I'm going to grab one. There it is. Yeah, so I'm going to have to leave 2 Dawn open. And 2 Dawn open on 3 big bodies versus Ace. I'm feeling okay. Tap 1 Dawn. Let's just throw away the Searcher, probably. Workery might be nice next turn if I somehow can't survive. But I do think the game is over next turn, so it's a little inconsequential. If you're optimizing, though, I might just toss the Searcher. Well, no, because we know where the 5 Elders are, so maybe if we really need to dig, we can spend 4 Dawn to search again. And you don't need the Equilibrium event at this point, so I would just end up taking extra 1k counter. Nistro would be nice here just for an extra body. There's no way they're able to be a 6k leader or an 8k leader. My opponent lets me put the God back out, so I'm 3 for 5. And I end up just passing with 2 Dawn up. Didn't feel like swinging that Nistro because, again, I'd rather just have more bodies on the board, and the extra Dawn would have just been a huge commitment. Maybe swing 7 to cheat out a 2k if it was a 6k leader, but on 8 it's just not doable. And the Roger comes out with 6 cards in hand. I don't think my opponent knows I have those Rad Beams. I drew one off life, and I drew one off of leader ability last turn, so it's just too broken. And I'm trying to do the math here because I don't know what 8 plus 8 plus 5 is. Oh, I don't know what 4 plus 4 plus 5 is. And I certainly don't know what 8 plus 8 plus 5 is. I should just counter this 12 now that I've seen both blockers. Just counter that. But I had so much counter in hand that there's the 3rd Rad Beam. Roger comes out. I go Rad Beam, and I owe you a 1k. Just drop the Searcher. That's fine. And we call game there. So couple of misplays there. I'm still kind of bad at maximizing value off the Nistro. In today's upload, I was talking with Zeke Kuhn, shout out, about how I was not being really efficient with my Mars pop and then the Nistro chase. So I just need to be more mindful of that. Just don't worry about minusing the new gates because they're so big. Just swing at the 3k guy and then use any other Dawn that you have left over to swing 6 at the Ace leader. So I think that's fine. Other than that, I don't think there was anything I would change about my gameplay outside of maybe that, was it the Yamato or the Jozu turn? And then just making sure that my opponent is countering correctly and using leader ability. So overall, a pretty good game. I felt like the sequencing was pretty nice, and I'm just going to try and keep it up in the next 2. So I'll catch you in the next one.